Are you posting jobs and want to maximize your budget, full of applicants, and your time? Then watch this video to learn more about our approach to job postings here in Vancouver. There are several sites that you can post on for free, and there are many paid options as well. I'm going to dig into our strategy and share some points for you to consider for your next job posting. My name's Brent. I own the Vancouver Express Employment Professionals office, and in some of our previous videos, we discussed our comprehensive job order process and our needs analysis process, which we feel are both critical steps before defining your recruitment strategy. Following that, we discussed how to write an internal description and the difference between that and an external job posting. And if you're going to run this process on your own, we suggest that you define these systems and processes in your business to ensure that you and your team understand the path that you're on, which will help you ensure that steps aren't skipped and candidates aren't missed. In this video, we're going to talk about the different places that we post jobs, when we pay and don't pay, how we manage our budgets, and decide where to post. So let's get into it. The first thing that we think you should consider is where you post. Some options you should consider are your internal site, WorkBC, Indeed, LinkedIn, Craigslist, Facebook, Kijiji, BC Jobs, ZipRecruiter, and school pages. Now keep in mind, there are also several industry-specific pages, and I'm going to dig into the pros and cons of the above sites and continue with the theme that what you put into this is what you'll get out of it. It's definitely worth the investment to ensure that you're advertising in as many relevant places as possible, especially given the challenges of the current market. The first resource I'll dig into here is your internal site. If you don't have a career and culture section, I suggest you have one added. The shift has happened already where candidates want to know everything they can about a company before they apply. On your page, you get to control 100% of the narrative, and once it's built, it shouldn't cost you much, if anything, to maintain and keep it updated. If a job seeker is interested in your company and are browsing your website and you fail to capture that application, you could be missing out huge. Again, build this out if it doesn't already exist, and if you do have it, take a look at the page with fresh eyes and make sure you have a captivating and engaging page that invites general applications if you don't happen to have any vacancies. The second resource is WorkBC. Depending on the position, WorkBC can be an excellent resource. WorkBC offers jobs, education, and career information to job seekers all across the province, and they'll happily post and share your postings for free. They have job developers who work with job seekers and help those in need connect with local employers. I believe the program is government funded, so in my opinion, they're purely there to help, and in my experience, they're an excellent resource to both the business and the job seeker. You do need to keep in mind, they primarily work with people who are currently unemployed, so this may not be the best resource if you're hoping for someone currently employed in your industry or directly with a competitor. Up next is Indeed, and in my opinion, it's the #1 paid resource here in the Vancouver market. We spend thousands of dollars here monthly and suggest you include them in your recruitment strategy. You can post jobs for free on the site, but the site is a paid platform and unpaid postings won't gather as much attention. However, the budget that you use is an interesting question. We've tried budgets ranging from $30 to $500 monthly and didn't see a $500 difference. I think it's important to understand that they can't guarantee an applicant, but they will spend your budget whatever you allocate. We tend to budget $100 a month. I've never had them underspend it. They will provide metrics and analytics, which are great, but again, paying more doesn't always equal results here. We also have a high-level corporate account, so you might need to spend a bit more if you post infrequently. Again, I highly suggest that you post here, but I think it's critical to understand how Indeed uses your budget to make sure you don't get any surprises, as it can rack up really quickly. Facebook is next on our list, and it's a great site, but it does have a couple drawbacks. It's a great site for advertising jobs, but you do need to understand your audience. Someone with a professional background and a LinkedIn page is likely not applying for jobs here on Facebook. We've hired some excellent people through this site, but you do need to optimize your post for mobile, as most of the job seekers tend to be on their phone, and prepare yourself for a flooded inbox. Facebook will often push you to pay for boosted ads. We've tried this, and we no longer spend here, as we tend to get the same volume unboosted. You'll also get a lot of applicants who haven't taken the time to review the company or who just aren't the best fit. You might get a very active job seeker who does see Facebook as an additional tool in their search, or you might get someone who happens to be on their couch or on the bus scrolling through their feed who sees a job pop up and decides to apply for it. Could be a home run, could be a flop. Someone will definitely need to manage your inbox. And that being said, Facebook does have a couple other robust job groups and pages. There's a large number of great job seekers there. You need to stand out, make sure that the right people get to you. But again, there are some drawbacks, as in some of these groups, there are scammers and time wasters, but overall, I think there's great value here. We've hired some amazing people through the process, and as long as you manage it properly, you can have great success. LinkedIn is next, It's exceptional for connecting with professionals. The minimum monthly budget to post a job is $180, and it can be hit or miss on value. Of course, if you have the time to search and invite connections, there's a great opportunity to connect with job seekers who might not actually be applying. I see posting jobs like casting a net, and LinkedIn is like spearfishing. You might shoot at a lot of fish here, but that doesn't mean that you'll snag the perfect one. Even if you do, they might not be interested in you. LinkedIn offers a more proactive approach, but it requires a significant investment. You'll also need to pay for a premium account to get the best results. You can start with $180 for a job posting and see where things go. The nice thing with posting on LinkedIn is applicants apply through their profile, so you tend to get a more comprehensive applicant compared to Indeed or one of the other sites, as you get to see their LinkedIn profile along with their application. Craigslist and Kijiji are next on our list. I'd say they're pretty similar in my opinion. Here in Vancouver, Craigslist tends to be the leader. Job posts on the site are $35 depending on the category that you're posting within, and it can be buried in as few as 24 hours. We post here sparingly, but we do get decent results. Applicant flow is smaller compared to Indeed, but sticking with the fishing analogy, I'd say it's more bait in the water and you're fishing in a different pond. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's not hard to spend $100 in 3 days here and still come up without a hire, but sometimes you'll luck out on your first post. Next is BC Jobs, ZipRecruiter, and School Pages. To me, they're a bit of a last resource. We're less of a fan of these sites and post sparingly. Sites like ZipRecruiter are what we call an aggregator. They tend to post on several sites for you, but the value here depends on the position. We found that we received a high volume of applicants, but they were often from outside of our market, and we didn't see the quality or value we were looking for. Other businesses have had great success and they swear by it, so it's definitely worth investing to see if it's a fit for you. The cost is higher, and from a value standpoint, I found that Indeed is better bang for my buck. School and career pages can be of great value as well. However, I've had better success connecting directly with the department heads. Again, what you put in is what you'll get out. Are you going to sign up to a site, send a check, or is it better to investigate these team members, reach out and create connections with these department heads, send emails and call them to tell them about the position? One approach might work, or neither. If you only take a couple things away from this video, I'd summarize by saying that no matter where you post, it's going to cost you. I suggest you budget for $180 to $500 per position, but you also need to take the time to make sure that you're going to spend the proper amount of time to manage the applicant flow. The last thing you want to do is hook an amazing candidate and not spend the time to reel them in and have them get off the hook or die on the line. We do this for a living. We have teams of people dedicated to this specific task. It's the easiest place to get huge value or waste a ton of time, money, and resources. Reach out to professionals like us, or if you want to do it on your own, make sure you're ready, you have the systems and processes and resources in place to maximize your money and your time. Whether you partner with Express or run the process on your own, go through the previous steps of the process that we've outlined before you move forward with your job postings. It's so important that when we run the process, we never skip any of these steps. Thanks again for tuning in. If you'd like more info on Express, please visit our website, our Facebook, or our LinkedIn pages, which are all linked below, and feel free to reach out with a call, email, or text and ask us any question you may have about this process or about your next hire.